Hello, dear friends, brothers, and sisters. Welcome to this special series uh, which we are making, in our journey to absolute happiness or unconditional happiness. This is the third episode in this series, and the title of this episode is The Inner Journey. So in this episode, we are going to discuss about, our etheric body, or what we call the pranic body, and we will discuss about the various centers in the physical body, how our physical body interacts via the etheric body with the other higher bodies, being the astral, mental, Buddhic or the intuition body, and the spirit body. And we are going to touch upon some very practical exercises, and in the end we will cover what we call as inner smile meditation. So we are going to use about 11 diagrams to depict, the etheric body, its functionality, and how the interaction takes place between the physical body and our higher bodies. And it is my very humble, very gentle request to you that please pay attention to these diagrams, not so much on me, but basically the message which is actually being given, so that it will help you in your journey to attain a state of unconditional love, and what we call as unconditional or absolute happiness. And this is my promise to you, that if you will undertake the practice of some of the exercises, in particular the inner smile meditation, it will assist you a lot in your journey towards unconditional love, unconditional happiness, and always your emotions and feelings will be of a positive nature, right? It will overcome any negative thoughts or negative feelings that arise within you. So let us first of all understand, what do we mean by the etheric body? If you look at this blue sky, what you will find in the blue sky is that there are small gray type sparkling star-like matter in the in the blue sky. So these grainy, tiny gray particles shining, which the naked eye can actually see, is actually the life force, what we call as ether or prana. When you are breathing, you breathe in and you breathe out what we call as prana, right? So let us look at this figure 1. Now, if say this represents your physical form, then all around your physical structure, right, all around you, less than 1 centimeters, is what we call the pranic body or the etheric body, and this is made up of ether, those grainy particles that I was actually talking about, right? Now this figure 1 shows the network of nerves in your physical body. Now they say that the human body has got about 23 billion cells, right? So each cell must have a nerve ending, right? So that means that there are 23 billion nerves in your physical body. Now, just like the physical body has got these 23 billion nerves or nerve endings, similarly, you see, your etheric body or the pranic body has also got, a network of pranic nerves or etheric nerves, right? So there could be 23 billion in number, just as a very rough guess, right? Now, every single physical nerve in your physical body is intertwined and surrounded by these etheric nerves. That gives us a basic understanding of the etheric body. You see, your physical body is known as the electrical matrix, and your etheric body or the pranic body is known as the magnetic matrix. So now we will move on to the second figure, which is called the microcosmic orbit, right? You see, when you actually look at this figure, on the left hand side you have is what we call the functional channel, and on the right hand side, looking up, is what we have the Werner channel. So you see, this Werner channel is the main etheric nerve in the etheric body, right? And you see, in the etheric body there are 7 centers known as the 7 etheric centers or the 7 chakras, right? These are located along the Werner channel. When you look at this second figure in this, you see, you can see just in oval shape these different centers are actually shown. So if you say look at the region of the navel, right, where your navel is, look at the figure. This is the third center or the third chakra. Below this there are 2 centers. So this third center is known as the solar plexus, right? Then just above that is the 4th center, which is actually the spiritual heart or the 4th chakra, right, or the 4th etheric center. Then the 5th center is in the region of the throat. The 6th center is, you see, between your eyebrows, where that pituitary gland is. And the 7th center is actually right here at the top of your head, 2 centimeters inside, right? Keeping in mind that these centers or chakras are located in the etheric body, and these are nothing but discs of revolving light, right? And it is through these centers that the communication is taking place between your physical body, the etheric body, and your higher bodies, which are the astral body, the mental body, the body of intuition, and the body of spirit or the Atmic body. I know it's a little bit hard, but if you focus, you will, understand, you see. So I would like to cover 3 centers in this first figure. You see, the solar plexus, which is 2 centimeters behind your navel, is actually a network of nerves and is known as the inverted brain. You see, because your brain has got the gray matter on the outside and the white matter on the inside. But whereas the solar plexus, you see, which is in the navel region, the 3rd chakra or the 3rd etheric center or the 3rd psychic center, you see, this has got the nerves, the white matter on the outside, and it's got the gray nerves on the inside. Now you see, this solar plexus is the center of emotions in your physical body, right? This is actually connected to the astral body. So whenever you are depleted in energy, that means that your solar plexus is depleted of energy. And when I say depleted of energy, I mean when you are depleted of emotional energy, right? So this solar plexus is connected to your astral body, right? It is the center of emotions, in a human being. And you see, also the etheric energy, right, is also distributed from this solar plexus. It's a very important center, and we'll discuss a bit more later on. Then I would actually like to come to the fourth center. If you look at where the region of the heart is, you see, this is the fourth chakra, or the fourth etheric center. It is also known as the etheric heart or the spiritual heart. This is a very important center located in your etheric body. You see, where your physical heart is, if you come a little bit to the right, where your ribs are actually joining, then if I take 2 finger widths from the center of your chest, towards your right nipple, right, that is the location of the etheric heart, right, or the spiritual heart. And there's a very simple exercise, like say my name is Anil, and I say I am Anil. Now gently you move your right hand inwards, and as you say I am Anil, it will come to rest on the right hand side. So when it rests on the right hand side, exactly where the palm is of the right hand, that is the exact location of the spiritual heart. So somewhere in the region of your right nipple, exactly there in the etheric body, is the location of the etheric heart. Now this is a very, very important center, because your spiritual heart actually connects to your spirit body, right, or the atomic body, and it connects with the Buddhic body, or the body of intuition. And the light of consciousness flows from the spiritual heart, right? And from the spiritual heart, there is this Gurnar channel, or known as the Sushmana Nadi, or the main psychic center, rising upwards, right? Look at the diagram. It rises upwards and it reaches the 7th center. And from the 7th center, it goes back. You see, this main channel is going back along the spinal cord, and it is feeding that light of consciousness, you see, to not only the physical body, it is also feeding that light of consciousness and energizing the various centers in, the etheric and the physical body, right? This is how the light of consciousness flows into us, and this is how we are conscious of whatever we do, right? This is a very, very important center. You see, also the thoughts and the emotions in between each breath also flow from the heart center. Now let's look at it a little bit more deeper. You see, at home you have got a fridge, right? How does the motor of the fridge run? You plug that cable from the fridge into a switch. Electricity comes in, and when the electricity comes, your fridge runs, right? Similarly, your physical heart is like that motor of that fridge, right? There's a piston moving. You see, whenever the physical heart is pumping, blood is being pumped out, and then blood is being pumped back, right? But how does the physical heart know that it has got to pump, or it's got to pulsate, between 70 to 90 pulses per minute? Who is giving it that intelligence, and what is the powerhouse which runs your physical heart? Not only that, you see, you look at it, your liver is performing 27 functions. How does it know that it's got to produce the right amount of sugar for your body, right? Look at your brain. You see, the brain is sending signals to all parts of the body, right? There are hormonal glands in your physical body, and they secrete hormones. How do they know that the right amount of hormones is to be secreted, required for your physical functioning, right? Look at your stomach. How does the stomach know that it's got to expand and contract more when you eat something hard like meat, and how does it know that it's got to contract and expand less when you eat, say, vegetables or a soft food? There are so many functions actually being performed in the body. What is the intelligence behind all these functions? Now, you see, the powerhouse behind the physical heart, which is supplying that electricity or that power for your heart to pump, it is actually coming from the spiritual heart or the etheric heart. And exactly how the liver has got to perform its functions, exactly how many or what is the quantity of hormones to be secreted from the hormonal glands, right? All this, how the stomach muscles should be moving, should they work harder or should they work less depending on the food that you take. All this intelligence is actually being powered, and it is actually coming from the spiritual heart, right? So that was about the spiritual heart. Now I'll just cover one more center, right, which is also very important, and this is your seventh center, also known as Sehastradhara in Sanskrit, right? This is 2 centimeters inside the top of your head, right? There is a gland there which is called the pineal gland, right? Now, you see, this center is actually very important because the 7th center is connected to your mental body, right? And the other thing is this, that you see this pineal gland and this 7th center is also your body clock. Why it is the body clock? Because science knows now there is a liquid in it which is called melatonin. You see, what happens is that this liquid, when it is sunrise, you wake up. And when it is sunset, you see, and when it becomes dark, you go to sleep. How does this actually happen? You see, this liquid melatonin in your pineal gland, right, this actually becomes active when there is sunlight. And when there is darkness in the night, it becomes inactive. And that is how you awake, and that is how you go to sleep. So this is your body clock. Okay. Now we will move on to the third figure. This figure is a little bit hard because this is actually taken from, the school of medicine, actually, you see. But in this, if you look at it very carefully, at the center, there are small oval egg-like shapes, and they are actually 7 in number. Now, remember that we were just discussing in the previous figure, you see, that there are these 7 centers, or there are these 7 plexus, or there are these 7 ganglion. So you see, a plexus or a ganglion is nothing but it's a network of nerves joining at a point, right? Like the solar plexus. For example, let us look at the third egg-like shape from the bottom. It is called the celiac ganglion, right? So this celiac ganglion is nothing but the solar plexus, you see. And when you look at these network of nerves or plexus or ganglion, what you find is they're connected with organs at one end, right? And at the other end, they're connected to the nerves. Now, you see, these 7 ganglion or plexus or, junction of nerves joining at a point, these are located in the physical body, right? And each single plexus is connected to the etheric center or the chakra in the etheric body. And this is how the communication is taking place between the physical body and the etheric body, and then your other higher centers, meaning the other higher bodies, right? So again, the plexus or network of nerves joining at a point. They are 7 in number in the physical body, right? They connect with organs at one end and to the nerves at the other end, and then they also connect with every single center or chakra in the etheric body. So there is a plexus for each chakra, and this is how the communication is actually taking place between the physical body and the etheric body. Okay, we will move on now to our fourth figure. Now this figure is quite interesting. You see, basically all that it shows is, it shows the 7 hormonal glands in the human body. You see, for example, here this is the pineal gland, right? And then just in here, about 1.5 centimeters inside, is the pituitary gland. You know, these secrete hormones for the body. Now, there are 7 hormonal glands, and each hormonal gland is connected to a particular solar a plexus, you know, or a network of nerves. And remember, there are 7 plexes. And each plexus and then is connected to the chakra or the center in the etheric body, right? So that was all, basically, that there are 7 hormonal glands, and each hormonal gland is connected to a particular plexus and you know, a particular etheric center, right? So that was a little bit about the hormonal glands. Now let us move on to figure 5. You see, whenever you see negative emotions or negative feelings are actually flowing through you, then as I said, that the navel area is the emotional center in the physical body. You see, what you will find is that there are blockages in the navel area, right, in that region. And this is the diagram of your small intestine. And you see, whenever you will have emotional blockages, it will impact upon your small intestine. Look, like if you look at this diagram, figure 5, anger contracts the right side, right? And worry affects the upper left side of your small intestine. So it is very important that we should not have any blockages in the navel area, which is the emotional area in your body. And we should always try and have positive thoughts and positive feelings, right? So now moving on from figure 5, we go to figure 6. So I just decided to put up this diagram. Basically, you see, this represents this area of your brain, and this is what we call as the crystal palace, because this area of the brain is actually like a crystal. You know, it is so pure and beautiful, and it has taken millions of years actually to develop. And you see, in this region or the crystal palace is your pineal gland, 2 centimeters inside, and there is this pituitary gland, 1.5 centimeters inside, and then between them are 2 glands, the thalamus and the hypothalamus, right? And this plays the crystal palace plays a very important function, you know, with reference to the physical body, and also with reference to, you know, when we are able to communicate with higher beings, you know, like I communicate with Sage Ramana, I communicate with Rishi Master Beyansa Duno. This all takes place because of a highly developed crystal palace. Okay, so from this now we will move on to figure 7. You see, now this is a very interesting exercise. Look, when you look at this figure, it shows the tip of the tongue. That's the tip of the tongue, right? And then there is the upper palate, right? Now when you touch the tip of your tongue to the upper palate like this, right? You touch it and bring it down, or you just touch it, hold it for a few minutes, and then bring it down. You see, what happens is that in this upper palate, there is a switch. It is an etheric switch. It connects with the etheric body and energy flows. Etheric energy or pranic energy flows downwards into your physical form. So whenever actually you are feeling down, this is a very simple exercise. Touch the tip of your tongue to the upper palate, bring it down. Again, touch and bring it down. So you can try this exercise anywhere, right? So now from this we will move on to figure 8, and the figure 8 is showing you see the sternum, right? Now what you can do is you can just take the tip of your fingers and you can do a clockwise movement on the sternum, just like it is actually shown in the figure, all along the sternum, right? And or on the sides of the sternum you can actually do it, and you will again find that it gives you a very pleasant, a very soothing feeling, and it calms you down, because again positive energy is flowing into your system, right? So try this exercise as well as it is shown in figure 8. A very simple exercise, but it will prove to be very helpful actually to you. So now we will move on to figure 9, right? You see, look at this figure 9 very carefully, right? This actually shows the location of the organs in your physical body. Try and become familiar with the organs in your physical body, like where is your heart, where are your lungs, where is the liver located, where is the stomach located, right? And we will go on to this inner smile meditation and you will understand why. But first of all, try and know the location of your different organs in the physical body as given in this diagram, figure 9. This represents the solar plexus and the region of the solar plexus and the organs there. Now, you see, as I told you, that the solar plexus is the emotional center, right? And whenever you are actually depleted in energy, the region of the solar plexus goes down in energy and you feel very down, right? You don't feel active and energetic. So there are some very simple exercises. Just go to a tree, right? And you put your left hand on the tree, and with your right hand, you massage clockwise around the navel area, and you gently breathe in through your nostrils, right? And breathe out through your mouth, just gentle breathing. So just this simple exercise, energy will flow from the tree. The tree, you see, is a storehouse of energy. Energy will flow to your solar plexus and that region, and you will feel invigorated again. Another exercise is that, if you go to a waterfall, the sound of that waterfall is very pleasing. It's like music to our ears. But you know what the secret is? That you see, this sound is actually music to your solar plexus. And your solar plexus is naturally filled with energy as a result of that sound. Now, naturally, you can't, visit a waterfall every day. But here's a very simple method. Just go on YouTube, right, or Google, and there are a number of small videos. You can just type in the sound of a waterfall, and you can get a 5-minute or a 10-minute clip. There are a lot of videos or audio videos on YouTube. So what you do is that just sit in your study or your bedroom, sit on a chair, right? Let there be a little bit of darkness or a bit of light, and then close your eyes and play that video, where the sound of the waterfall is coming. And exactly you will find that it's very beautiful, it is very lovely, and you will find that you're filled with energy, right? So these are some simple exercises that you should actually try. Okay, now we will move on to the figure 10. Right? Now, this is a very interesting figure. Look, you see, whatever is your emotional state, right, it has a direct impact on your organs. So let us actually take an example. If you are angry, you see, your liver is affected. If there is hatred in you, your heart is affected. And if there is worry in you, then your stomach is affected, right? And if there is sadness in you, your lungs and your heart are actually affected. So you can study all this, you see, from this diagram. That's why I was telling you that you should know exactly where these organs are located. Now just one more thing, look at it. Who is your best friend? Is your best friend your wife? Is your best friend your husband? Is your best friend, your colleagues at work? Is your best friend your neighbor? Are your best friends your children? Are your best friends your parents? The answer is actually no. Because look at it. When you sleep, you don't even know that your wife is actually sleeping next to you, and the wife doesn't know that the husband is actually sleeping next to me, or your children are sleeping next door, right? And then you see, you may wake up in the morning and then the husband may go to work and the wife will be looking after the children, or the wife may also go to work. So, all these so-called friends of yours, they come and go. But you know who your real friends are? Your real friends are your inner organs, your heart, your nose, your eyes, your stomach, your solar plexus, your liver, you name it. You see, all these organs have taken millions of years to develop, and they serve you unconditionally your whole life, right? Look, your heart continues to pump right from the time you're born till you leave your physical body, right? Your lungs continue to work or function, purify, take in carbon dioxide, replenish your blood with oxygen. They perform this function day in and day out, right? Whenever you eat, your stomach starts working. It helps in the digestion of the food. Your brain helps you to think. Your eyes help you to see. Your ears help you to hear. You see? But now here I'm a little bit more focused on the inner organs. But tell me one thing. Tell me one thing and be sincere and honest. Have you ever sat down and thanks or paid your regards or your love to these inner friend of yours? These are your real friends. They do not complain, you see, and they go everywhere with you, you see. Now here is where this inner smile meditation comes in, you see. Now that is where actually you should look at this figure 10 and understand that how your feelings, how your emotions and how your thoughts are affecting all these different organs. So let us now move on to figure 11, right? This is the last figure. And in this, say for example, we are having what you call as anger arising in us. Say there is some colleague at work and you're sitting at home and some thoughts come into you and you feel very angry, due to which you are very upset on what he did or she did, right? Now, you see, what's happening is that you are depleting in emotional energy. So just sit down, close your eyes, right? You just close your eyes and you gently look towards the liver. And what you do is you just smile towards the liver, right? And what will happen is that when you are smiling towards the liver, anger affects liver. You will find that these emotions of anger suddenly change. The anger is gone and there is this, love, you see, or respect arising for this colleague of yours, and that feeling or thought is actually gone. Let us take another example. Say there is somebody did something very bad to you and there is hatred which arises in you. You see, now when these feelings of hatred arise in you, they say, that your heart is actually heated, right? So now again, close your eyes. Gently look towards your physical heart, and I've already told you about the etheric heart, and just smile to it. You see, when you smile, your heart center is the center of love. You see, what will happen is that feeling of hatred will gradually change to the feeling of love. So like that, when you know from that figure 10 which I had shown you previously, when you know which organ is affected by which particular emotion, you can change those feelings. And you see, you please practice this. This is not actually difficult, right? It's not a very difficult science or a very difficult exercise, right? What you will find is that slowly, you see, always there are positive thoughts and positive emotions flowing into you, and you seem to be always having a very colorful, beautiful aura full of light. You see, if you remain at ease and if you are at peace, you will find that that same peace is suddenly flowing into your environment, and whoever you interact with, you will find that they also seem to be very affectionate and seem to be very nice to you. And that is a result of this inner smile meditation given by the ancient sages, right, which is now something forgotten, virtually forgotten by mankind. There are not many actually who are doing this. So it's my humble request to you, please practice these many simple exercises that we have actually given, and I guarantee you that this will assist this inner journey which we undertook of the physical and the etheric body and the exercises. All that you need is just a general understanding. You don't have to go very deep, right? But practice the exercises, and I guarantee you that it will lead to a state of unconditional love and what we call as absolute happiness, and it will help you in your spiritual journey to what we call as enlightenment. You will be at peace, you will have humility, right, and you will have love for yourself and for everyone, and you'll be able to share this with others, right? So with this, I will bring this video to a close, this particular episode of the inner journey. And from the core of my spiritual heart, my dear friend, brother or sister, I would like to thank you for having given your very valuable time, to have listened to this video.